Hello, UCAR. Peter Christensen here, coming to you from the CEO's desk. Gonna do a little further discussion on the exclusive buyer-broker agreement, so the new one, the post-settlement version. So we talked about some of this already in a previous video about some of the first kind of couple sections, setting the terms of the deal, property-specific, not. So I just want to explore that a little bit more in depth, because I'm getting questions about, how is this, how do I use this in different circumstances? So I think some key things to remember is, depending on the buyer you're dealing with and your relationship with the buyer, that seems to be a big question of, what if it's a new buyer and I've got this agreement and typically I wouldn't have them sign something, but now I'm required to. How can this work in that circumstance? Well, it's very, very adaptable to that circumstance. And the first thing is the duration. You can make it as short or as long as you want. And so maybe in some circumstances, making it a little shorter and then a trial period, and then you move on to make it, amend it to make it longer later, once you're both kind of build that relationship and you trust each other. Right? So you can make it short. And remember, it has that new end date, which is really nice. So it's pretty clear. It ends on this day. So just remember, though, you only have a promise to get paid until that date is up. Right? That's the way I would look at it. There is a protection period, but the protection period, so that's to keep a buyer from really going around you. You showed them the property, but they say, this ends in 4 days. I'll wait to put my offer in after. Well, that's where the protection period, that's what it does to protect you from that circumstance. But it's invalidated if they sign another buyer-broker agreement after that. So like the listing agreement, right? If they relist it, the protection period disappears for yours. Same thing with the buyer-broker agreement. Right? So you got to look at it in terms of, really, I'm only going to count on getting paid until the end date of this agreement. So if you're willing to take a risk and do a short one for a trial period, then it works. Just know you got to re-up it to really have a promise to get paid. Right? You can also make it property specific. So if buyer's nervous about, I just met you, I don't know if I want to long relationship with you as my agent, great. We can do it for just this property. It doesn't have to be for everything. But again, know what you're getting into. You only have a promise for this property, and then for as long as we set the term of the agreement. But those are two ways you can negotiate with a buyer to make both of you comfortable with how this agreement works. So that's just a little tip on how this thing can work and be adaptable to different circumstances. Remember, this is not legal advice. This is legal information only. If you need specific legal advice, please contact your attorney. Thanks for tuning in.